Well, welcome, friends. Welcome back. It's been a few days since we've done a video. I have been flying in the last few days. I landed at John Wayne a few days ago from, I don't know where we came from, Napa, I think. Anyway, I've just been flying the 172 around. Flew out to Catalina up to Fullerton, Muni. But anyway, I'm ready to get back in the Longitude, and we're going to do a full flight video. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful, warm day here in Southern California. Actually, a nice day. It was warm yesterday, so it was like in the 90s yesterday, but it's actually beautiful out today. 72 degrees. But we're going to Vegas. Full flight video. So it might be a little long. Nobody's going to watch it anyway, so I don't feel like I'm offending anyone. This is my second attempt. I actually already got everything loaded up once, and I got a low bandwidth warning from the sim. So I did make a few modifications to my graphics settings because I noticed it getting a little stuttery in these high intensity areas. So we're at high end right now instead of ultra. We'll see how much it impacts the experience. Hopefully not too much. We're flying out of John Wayne today via the Muscle 8 SID and 240 nautical mile flight to Vegas, about 37 minutes in the air. Landing in Vegas on runway 26 right via the Lark 1 Star. So all that mumbo jumbo set aside now for the moment. Let's get up on the flight deck and let's get started on our full flight video as we bounce on this startup. Always cracks me up how it does that. We'll fix our camera. That still isn't fixed in any of these. It defaults to auto no matter what I do. Hold on. Excuse me, my goodness. I tried to find the mute button in time, but I couldn't. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? All right, battery.
TAWS system test.
It's funny, sometimes you do the battery and the TAWS system test happens right away, and other times it takes a minute, whatever. The APU just started. Get our lights going, recognition, and anti-collisions. And let's see, are we going to get... We might still be on... I was not using... I was handling the AI, the ATC myself. I wasn't using the AI. There we go. Let's fix our altimeter, set that 29904. VS at 3500. Thank you. 12,000, 195 on the speed. Climb out. 12,000, he said. We're cruising at, I think, 23,000, 230.
Takeoff runway 20 right, climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure on 128.1 squawk 2721.
Pitot-static, don't need it, but we'll set it. Nav source, GPS, bearing 1, GPS, bearing 2, nav 1. Set our frequencies. ILS for 26 right is 110.3. And the VOR at Vegas is 116.9. All right, those are both set. And minimums at Vegas are, oh, you know what? Our parking brake is still on. We're going to need to release that in order to get pushed back. Minimums at Vegas are 2334. Airport elevation in Vegas is 2181. Approach course 259, airport elevation 2181, as I said. Minimums, runway length 14,500 feet. You gotta love that. All right, let's get that right engine started. Okay, let's see if our pushback.
John Wayne ground Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey requesting the end of pushback.
Cessna
Okay.
November 34 Bravo Whiskey request to end pushback received.
Weather looks pretty good, pretty accurate for what it looks like today. You see, ultra high, the detail level on the buildings is not the same as it is in ultra. I'm sorry, high end versus ultra. You still see names on the buildings. The Marriott right there. There's Santiago Peak to the right there. Majestic Peak to the left. So it still looks good. Airport details themselves look fine. But I'm hoping this helps with some of the stuttering issues I noticed. Let's fix the camera. I know it defaulted back to auto. Yes, it did. Only seems to do that once. Check our N2 is at almost there, 5960. Okay, now we'll do our left engine. We'll wait for that to spool up. There it comes. Got plenty of gas on board. Such a short flight. About 30% capacity. Hear that left engine coming up nicely. No weather to worry about on this flight. Zoom in on our MFD.
John Wayne Ground Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey with Yankee ready to taxi IFR.
There we go. Is it me or does it seem like it's zooming in more than it did before? I don't know. Not the MFD, but the actual mouse wheel seems to be bringing me in closer. I don't know. Let's see. Is it? If I switch to my normal default hotkey, I guess that is a little closer. All right. Anyway,
Taxiing hold short runway 20.
do a notch of flaps.
Taxiway Alpha Hotel Charlie Lima cross runway 20 left lane with Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
20 right. We're taking off. We're gonna have to cross 20 left. Here's our plan. Take off 20 right, and we'll do a noise abatement takeoff as we always do out of John Wayne. So get to 1,000 feet, we'll cut way back on the engines and flat over this feature here called Back Bay. And get out over the water. We'll make that big right turn, very big right turn. Head out over Seal Beach, Pomona, over the desert, Daggett, over Boulder City, BLD right there. And then from Flicker, Hako, Bjorg, Condi, all the way to the airport, straight line. So, pretty good long final, 15 miles or so. All right, our engines are ready to go. So we'll kill the APU. Don't need that anymore. Get our yoke back. Get our timer set up to go. Actually, set our speed bugs. VY's 195 for this flight. VAP's going to be 140. Nice long runway. And rotation speed's going to be 145. Kind of fast. All on. All right, gang. Let's go. Make a right turn here on our takeoff roll. There's enough room there to make that right turn. Plenty of room. Right toe brake. Help us make that turn more sharply. Toe brakes are really indispensable in navigating on the ground because when you're at low speed, you really have limited rudder authority. Yeah, airport looks fine. I mean, again, I mean, in a perfect world, I'd love to keep it on Ultra, and I can keep it on Ultra when I'm on smaller airports. But this is a big airport. I mean, it's comparatively big. Oh, somebody's landing right there. You see off the left side there. Nice. See that guy? Whoops. Right there. Nice. Anyway, when you're going and handling busy airports, I mean, it really does pay to be flexible when it comes to your graphic settings. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to keep it on Ultra all the time. And when I'm out in the sticks or flying into little one-strip airports, I can. But this is John Wayne, Orange County to Vegas. And so that's going to put a lot of demands on the GPU, which it affects the entire experience when you get significant stuttering. So we'll have to content ourselves with leaving it at high end instead of ultra. Somehow I'll survive, I think. with the graphics card shortage that's happening all over the world right now, I'm just happy to have my 2070 Super. We'll cross 20 left here, as we've been cleared to do. Yeah, I got the
runway 20 left.
I got the 2070 Super. That's my graphics card.
20 left.
I'm looking forward to getting one of these bigger, more powerful ones here in the coming months. That may be overly optimistic. But until then, we're just going to have to content ourselves with this setup. All right, coming up on 20. Oh, that's funny. That's wrong. It's not 20 left, it's 20 right. I never noticed that. Okay.
John Wayne Tower, Cessna, November 34 Bravo Whiskey at runway 20 right, ready for takeoff IF.
Oh, I never turned on my taxi lights. That was bad. Pulse light, landing lights.
Cessna November 3,
Okay.
43 Bravo Whiskey cleared for takeoff runway 20 right.
Clear for takeoff, 20 right. That's the real whiskey. No winds? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Oh, speaking of winds, we got to set our PFD settings. Winds option 2. There we go. 14 knots out of the south. Nice. That is accurate, I should point out. And I should also point out that, as usual, the
Approaching runway 20 right.
the weather on the setup page is just completely wrong.
1,600 feet remaining.
Completely wrong. I mean, it showed winds on the setup page out of the north, which is not right. I mean, this is where I live. This is my hometown. I looked out. There's no winds from the north. It's just normal winds from the south. It's a beautiful day. We normally have winds from the south. So I don't know what the deal is. That's a tip for everybody. You check the real weather, because once you actually get in the sim, the real weather seems to be correct. But the setup page weather is completely fucked up. All right, we'll stop. Confirm flaps at 1. Lined up. 195. Actually, well, 196, but I'll accept it. Let's zoom out. Don't want to sit here too long. There's probably some guy on final. And see what we're going to do here. So we're going to keep our speed low on this. Climb out. And we'll start our timer. Let's go. There we go. All right, let's do it. We'll hold our brakes. Short runway, 5,600 feet. Sync our heading bug. Activate nav. Activate VS. All right, ready, buddy? Let's go. And release. Wind's coming right at us, 13 knots. $80 knots. 120. And rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Got 1,000 feet.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact SoCal departure on 128.
Autopilot's activated. Auto throttle.
128.1 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Somehow the VS.
SoCal departure.
I thought I set it at 3,500. Somehow we lost it. Anyway, okay. And somehow we no longer have. Oh boy.
Bravo Whiskey SoCal departure continue as planned. Altimeter 29.94.
Well, hold your horses here, gang. This could be fun. Flaps in. This looks beautiful. I mean, this looks good. There's Fashion Island. That looks fantastic. Keep our speed down. We got a big turn. I don't know where our track line went on our MFD. It's weird because I have nav activated and it's flying it. I just can't see it. That was a little anxiety inducing when I I activated autopilot and it stopped climbing. We fixed it in about 10 seconds, but I don't want to stop climbing. I got nav activated, right? Yeah, nav's activated. I'm gonna keep our speed down. Oh, no, it's back. Track line's back. We're gonna keep our speed down because as we head to Muscle right here, MUSCL. Oh, shit. GPS tracking. Come on, guys. As we head to Muscle right here, we got a gigantic right turn to make, and if we're going too fast, it'll be ugly trying to make that turn. But our climb out's going, I mean, we're climbing like a frickin' rocket right now. Let's switch over to FLC mode now as we're starting to make that right turn.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey contact Los Angeles Center.
It's at 200 knots. Now that we're over the ocean, we don't have to worry about noise abatement.
134.575 for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey. Los Angeles Center says the November 34 Tree Bravo Whiskey is climbing through 8,000
That looks great.
feet for 12,000
The beach. There's the beach down there. Newport, Huntington.
November 34 Tree Bravo Whiskey Los Angeles Center. Continue to Musel as planned.
Musel.
Altimeter 29.9.
I think it's Muscle. Okay, we're coming up on 12,000, which is the altitude we were told to climb to. We can increase our speed now.
Descend and maintain 6,900 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 23 approach.
Thought for a second he was talking to me. I was about to throw a fit.
Climb and maintain 6,000.
Okay, here's this monster right turn.
Visual runway 23 approach. Cessna Tree Bravo Echo.
Ocean looks good. So got the window. I mean, the clouds are a little, maybe a little more,
Tree Bravo Whiskey climb and maintain flight level 180.
up to 180, so that's the real whiskey. A little granulated than I'm used to. Re-engage the FLC.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Yeah, you see what I mean about this right turn. I mean, this airplane doesn't exactly turn on a dime. And you can see here, it's kind of, it's going to have to correct to get back on that desired course. But it's all right. Those landing lights off. This looks fine by me, I'm just telling you. Let's get our speed up even more. Only flying at 230 as I recall on this flight, so we're able to set our speed up at, well, let's start with 330. If I have to do lower than that, I will. There's Catalina. Now it's correcting left to get back on the track line. See right here, you see? Level out here in a moment. Climbing at 3,200 feet per minute on the FLC right now. Well, that looks good. Santa Ana Mountain Range, Cleveland National Forest, Mount San Jacinto, Mount San Gorgonio.
Whiskey contact Los Angeles Center on 132.85.
3285, so that's the 3 whiskey. Good day. So we look outside. Ah, it looks fantastic.
Flight for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
There's Lido Island.
Los Angeles Center Cessna November 34 Tree Bravo Whiskey is climbing through 16,700
55 freeway right here. 405 freeway. There's the airport. 73. Santa Ana River. Right here. Oh, it's terrific. Long Beach. Headed to SLI right now. Long Beach over here. Up to 230, so that's the real whiskey. Alright, so we'll climb up to 230.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Re-engage the FLC. And yeah, 330 is going to probably be a little bit high when we switch over to Mach mode, which we'll do now. Transition altitude, we'll set altimeters at standard. And let's set our speed at Mach mode and 660. Let's set it at 80. We're going to be at 23,000 feet in no time. God, this thing climbs. What a high-performance machine. We're only 8 minutes into the goddamn flight, and we're already at 19,000 feet. Jesus. Look at this. That's a nice view. That passenger's got a nice view looking straight down, man. Wow. I gotta put the bank limiter on. Somebody's gonna get sick. Alright. That bank limiter keeps the airplane from turning too dramatically. That looks fantastic. I might just keep it on high end. Look, I mean, again, I'd rather have it on... oh, there's somebody. Look at that. There's somebody on final. That guy right there. He's not going to show up in the video. He's on final. This right here is a retention basin. It's not far from my home. I might keep it on high end, just because... Look, I mean, in a perfect world, I'd rather have it be on ultra, but I also don't care for the stuttering. Just over Buena Park right now. Knott's Berry Farm, down there somewhere. Might be it right there. Can't quite tell. Fullerton Municipal Airport. Right there. Landed there 2 days ago. Flying over La Habra right now. La Habra Heights. Didn't expect to have a little tour of Orange County, did you? Now we're headed over Chino Hills State Park. Right, all this is Chino Hills State Park. Be over Pomona here in just a flash. God damn, look at our knots indicated. Holy shit, 366. But it's not, we're not getting over speed limit warning, so it's handling it just fine. We're at cruising altitude now, 23,000 feet. I was prepared to consider the possibility that we were going too fast to fly at 0.80 Mach at only flight level 230. And I don't, who knows, maybe it is, but I'm not getting an overspeed warning. It's in the Barber tape, but not too high up in it. I suppose in an abundance of caution, we'll set it at 7.8, because I'm all about caution. Making that right turn now over Pomona. And then we will be flying over the San Gabriel mountain range. There it is. Number of peaks here that I'm familiar with. Mount San Antonio, also known as Mount Baldy. Cucamonga. Mount Ontario. You may have heard of Rancho Cucamonga. That's a city, but there's actually a mountain named Cucamonga Peak I've been on top of, 9,000 feet. I mean, you can definitely see... Stand by. 2635, so that's the 3 Whiskey today. You can see having it on high end instead of ultra, the rendering isn't quite as sharp. I don't know if you can make that out, but it's a little more fuzzy until you get close, and then it does sharpen. You can actually see it happening here in real time as we get closer to it. You see, this looks different from this. But there you go, see? But that does a tremendous favor to the GPU. Got a little chop. Does a tremendous favor to the GPU. Coming over Lytle Creek. I don't like all this rocking and rolling left and right as the AI tries to level us out, so I'm going to switch over to heading mode. Sync it first, and then that'll level us out. Only thing to keep in mind there is to keep a very sharp eye on your track line here on the CDI. Wow, true airspeed 476 knots. Not too shabby. This turbulence will moderate once we get over these mountains. Yeah, you look straight down and it looks beautiful. I mean, this is like a photorealistic rendition of this entire area. You start dragging it down like this, and you see stuff like that. Fuzziness. And that's obviously just a setting. Here we go, heading over the desert. Just a setting to, you know, keep the GPU from having to render everything. I mean, it's capable of doing it. The 2070 Super is capable of doing it, but it just affects FPS. Frankly, it could probably do it based on my previous videos. I'm sure you agree. It has done it. But you have to take into consideration the airport you're leaving from and the airport you're landing at. Because there's nothing more irritating than being on short final and all of a sudden it turns into a PowerPoint presentation. Headed over Hesperia now, Hesperia in Riverside County, and after that Apple Valley, Victorville, all out here. Putting us wheels on the ground here in 28 minutes, 29 minutes. You see on that CDI I mentioned, the track line showing us slightly off. You can see that also reflected over here, so we just have to make a slight correction. 3 degrees left, no big deal. That looks great. I mean, if setting it at high end instead of ultra allows me to have a stutter-free experience, I'll set it at high end until I can get a new graphics card, which is not going to be for a long time. Honestly, if I could get myself a 3090 for any amount, I don't care. I mean, I'm not made of money, but I spend so much time on this sim and I have so much fun with it that if you want $3,000 from me for a 3090, okay, whatever. I don't care. You really think about it. You piss away so much money on shit. I've spent hundreds of hours since August in this sim. And if $3,000 for a graphics card will allow me the most fluid experience in the sim, uninterrupted, no stuttering, fine. Who gives a shit? It's only money. And that's just me. I'm just saying. But that all said, I ain't complaining. I mean, I think this looks fucking fantastic. And I don't have the FPS monitor on right now because I find it... I'm a real purist when it comes to not having background software running. It's like it's a gremlin. It gets everything all fucked up. So I don't run anything. I'm a curmudgeon that way. There's nothing running in the background. Nothing. Nothing running in the background. So I find it makes it more stable. But anyway, if I had the FPS monitor up, it might tell us. But I who cares what the FPS monitor says? Just trust your eyes. I don't know. Looks good to me. Smooth. It's got to be at least 30 FPS. And screens look good. Refresh rate's good. By the way, 32.5s. It's the Rovsky evening. The CDI lining back up after we made that 3 degree turn. Ground speed 507 knots. Gotta love that. Jesus. Close to doing 600 knots. 600 miles an hour, rather, across the ground. Gotta love that. Delta Alpha Golf. That's Daggett. Just flying over the desert right now, you can see. Little agriculture right here. Kind of cool. There's an airport. What airport is that? Let's check. That is Daggett. Nice. We'll be passing over the Interstate 40 here in a moment. Off the right side of the airplane is the Newberry Mountains Wilderness. I suspect they're using the term wilderness quite loosely. We're zipping our way to Vegas. Love Vegas. Speaking of Vegas, weather. Weather in Vegas. Windy, by the way, in Vegas. Mostly sunny, 93 degrees. God damn, doesn't that sound nice? Sitting poolside in some cabana, the Four Seasons in Vegas. Let's correct our heading 2 degrees, right? Imagine that. No, I don't have to imagine it. I've done it. Yeah, windy though. Winds out of the south-southwest at 20 miles an hour. Good grief. Well, we're landing on runway 26, as I mentioned, however, which is just 10 degrees west, 10 degrees left of due west. Which means if the winds are 20 knots out of the south-southwest, that we'll have a crosswind kind of coming at us like this when we're on final. This is assuming, of course, that the weather in the sim is correct. Vegas ATIS is 132.4. ATIS gets only a few things right in the sim. Sometimes temperature, sometimes wind. Sky conditions are always wrong. Always wrong. 132.4. 132.4. Okay, that's set as our standby frequency on, see right there, 132400. I can't switch it over right now because there's no point, because we're too far. We're still 127 nautical miles from the, well, we're less than 127 nautical miles. We have 127 miles left on our route. So we're less than that, because as you can see. What the fuck is that all about? Climb? Okay. That's interesting. I have a theory I'll articulate here in a moment. Let's see if this is going to climb. Yeah, it's climbing. I think that the star, the Lark 1 star that we're flying into Vegas today, probably has as an entry altitude flight level 240, 24,000. So they want us at 24,000. We were at 23,000. Fine, I don't mind. Flying over Interstate 15 right now, actually just sort of parallel to it. There it is. Anybody who lives in LA or Orange County knows they just needed to get us to 24,000 so that we could then be instructed to descend. I'm not keeping my speed below 230 knots, honey. No offense. We'll descend at 700 feet per minute to get back to 230. We're 113 miles out. We don't need to descend yet. Let's re-engage the nav. Let's see if we start wobbling again. It's going to turn a little left just to get us back on track, but we're still doing all right. Let's change our range on our MFD of 15 nautical miles right now. We'll change that to 35. This is interesting. Passing over the Soda Mountains Wilderness. Right here. There it is. I'm going to try to showcase the scenery a little more, even if I have settings all the way down to high end instead of ultra. It's really one of the showcase features of this game is the scenery. And again, anybody, stand by. All right, darling, I will. God damn it. Let's send it 12. Down to 15,000, says the real whiskey. Boy, they're not wasting any time getting us down to our approach altitudes. Set 15,000 on the altitude selector, and we'll continue our descent. I mean, again, we're 100 miles out, and typically at 100 miles out, you'd expect to be at 30,000 feet. So, you know, even if you take into consideration the airport elevation of 2,200 feet or whatever I said it was, 181, yeah, 2,200 feet. Still, I mean, 24,625, says the real whiskey. So, passing over Baker. Baker. That's Baker right there. If you're familiar with races here in the Southern California or Southwest, there is a famous relay race called Baker to Vegas. It's basically a 100-mile run. It's run by generally people in law enforcement or court communities. They get teams together from various police agencies and so forth. Never done it. Sounds nice. I don't do relay races, though. I don't believe in them. I don't like having to depend on anybody to show up. All right, we are passing over Turquoise Mountain momentarily, then Squaw Mountain. Again, Interstate 15 off to the right side of the airplane. I'm still irritated by the oscillation roll. So we're going to start slowing down as we descend. And switching to HDG mode will stop that oscillation roll from pestering us. Again, the consequence of it, though, of switching to HDG mode is that you just have to keep an eye on your actual heading. Passing over Turquoise Mountain as we speak. Yeah, if you live in SoCal, this is what it looks like. That drive to Vegas is just infamous. It's about 3 hours, roughly, if you're lucky. This is presuming you don't run into traffic. Let's do correction on our heading. 3 degrees, right? Let's continue slowing. Actually going to switch out of Mach mode now. Set 350. Don't tell me landing gear. I don't want to hear it. Okay, we're out of the barber tape now on our speed. Another 2 degrees right. 19,600 feet, descending at 1,300 feet per minute. You see right here. Right there, 1,300 feet per minute, and also reflected here, a VS, vertical speed, minus 1,300 FPM, feet per minute. We might be able to get ATIS information now, just for shits and giggles. Let me turn off AI control on the comms. Switch our active comm over to the Vegas ATIS. There it is. Let's listen. That's correct. 3? Don't listen to that. Sky conditions, they just make that shit up. Re-engage the nav. Temp's wrong. Okay, so they got the active runway right. Betty says the nearest altimeter is 2974. Let's find out. 2963. Okay. Let's clear that off our ForeFlight. Let's re-engage our AI on the radio comms. And yeah, so the I don't know if you heard that. The winds are wrong. I mean, the winds were right. Temperature, she said 1.8, didn't she? Where was it? I don't know if I'm even showing it in the history. No, it's not. Anyway, 18 degrees Celsius is, 75, 77 degrees, and that's wrong. So they got the temperature wrong, and they got the sky conditions wrong. Continue slowing. Mesquite Valley out there off to the left. Just about to pass over the border between California and Nevada. Let's continue slowing. Showing us 60 miles out. Customarily expect about 18,000 feet at 60 miles, but taking into consideration the airport elevation of 2,000 feet, so we're good. 16,000 feet. Actually increase our descent rate. And slow. 325. Still getting that irritating oscillation, even at this altitude. That shocks me. Interstate 15 off to the right side of the airplane. Continue slowing. Coming in a little fast. Set 315, 15,300 feet. Gonna make a right turn at Lark here momentarily. Down to 13,000, says the 30 Whiskey.
Descend and maintain 13,000.
Re-engage the VS. 1,600 feet per minute. Turn off the bank limiter. Low enough now that we don't need it. Set 300 knots on the selected airspeed. Making that right turn at Lark. This looks good. Solar Farms.
120.45 Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Interstate 15 still.
Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey is at 14,300.
Okay, handoff to approach.
13,000 feet.
Continue slowing.
Cessna November Tree, 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey approach. Continue as planned. Altimeter 29.74.
2974.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Betty was right.
Miles southwest. Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 right approach via Bravo Lima Delta transition. Cleared to Bravo Lima Delta.
All right, we'll descend to 8,000. We'll expect 26 right. We're cleared to
Descend and
BLD.
maintain 8,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 26 right approach via Bravo Lima Delta transition. Cleared to Bravo Lima Delta Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
So that's all good. This is going well. BLD right here, 8,000. Flicker, we want to be at 6,500. That'll be the next descent instruction. Hako, 5,200. You can't see it, but this triangle right here is Bjorg, B-J-O-R-G. There's somebody on final. At Bjorg, we want to be at 4,700 feet. At Condi, oh shit, I didn't write that down off the plate. Hold on one second. Plates for, I'm looking at ForeFlight. 26 right ILS Condi altitude is, shame on me, Condi 3,800 feet. Let me write that down. Condi 3,800 feet. And yeah, so hey, listen, the distance from Flicker to Hako is 4 miles. Hako to Bjorg 1.6. Bjorg to Condi 3.1, and Condi to the airport, boom, 5.4 for a 14.1 nautical mile final approach. So let's continue slowing because we're going to be under 10,000 here in a minute. Zoom in here on our MFD. You can see here we are. Lots of planes out there. I hope we don't have any traffic conflicts. This is one of my biggest reasons I don't like flying into Vegas or giant airports. It's just because of the sim and the ATC do not know how to handle traffic conflicts in busy airspace. Now I could resolve all this just by turning off live traffic. Might even help some of my graphics issues, but I enjoy having the live traffic. All right, we're at 10,100 feet. Selected airspeed is at 250. Knots indicated showing 257 and slowing. It's at 245 and continue slowing. Passing over the Sloan Canyon National Conservation Area. Very nice. Henderson, Nevada, right off there to the left. And we will make that left turn at BLD. That's us, right here, the big one. We get to BLD, we'll make a left turn. We get to Flicker, we'll make another left turn, then we're on final. Then the only question is, do any other planes get in our way? And that's a big question. But so far, this has gone just swimmingly. We are receiving ILS data. I don't know if you can see this. I'll zoom in for you. ILAS, remember I set bearing 2 over here to nav 1? And now that's nav 1 on bearing 2 showing ILAS, showing it's 10.1 nautical miles from the ILS frequency transmitter. Obviously the number is increasing because we're, as you can see here, flying away from the airport. There's the airport. Let's continue slowing. Yeah, just coming in a little hot. That's been my own. A little. Is that 220? But it's okay. We're not. It's not a problem. Is that 210? Almost to BLD. Showing us. Well, the MFD is showing us 68 seconds from BLD. We'll see if that proves accurate. And you can see here that we are getting ILS data. Just need that white diamond to start creeping up, which it will. It will. Set bearing 1 to nav 1 now. Let's switch them. Bearing 2 to nav 2. And now you can actually see. So what I did is I moved the ILS from ILAS to this bearing 1. 6,500. Yep, that's what I told you.
Descend and maintain 6,500 feet. Cessna Tree Bravo was...
Remember I told you that was going to be our next descent instruction? 6,500. And sure enough, that's great. Anyway, I switched the bearing 1 now is reflecting the ILS transmitter. Bearing 2 is reflecting the VOR transmitter. Both of these Scion arrows are pointing in the direction of those 2 transmitters, which are both located at the airport. So that's good. Not descending, however. Not clear why it didn't reacquire the same descent pattern I had before, but it's no problem. Down to 5,200, says the Rio Whiskey. And again, 5,200 is coming from the published approach plate for Hako. Right here. Published approach plate says you need to be at 5,200 feet at Hako. Problem! There's a bunch of planes on final. Look at this guy. See him? So, this is gonna... We're almost certain to get a go-around order. I hate to be a pessimist, but I predict it. It's at 185. Got a big left turn coming at Larry. Or Flicker. Has 2 names, depending on your approach. Here goes. In that left turn. Oofa. Airspeed, or rather our altitude is excellent now. You can actually see it right here, that white diamond. We're ready to switch over to nav 1 and APPR. Grab the glide slope instantaneously. That is great news. Only thing that's not great news is the airplanes in the vicinity that are also on final. But hey, maybe we'll luck out. They'll be on 26 left instead of 26 right where we're landing. Depressurize.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey descend and maintain 4,700 feet.
That's the next one. The next step down, as I mentioned.
Descend and maintain 4,700 feet.
Don't really need it,
Bravo Whiskey.
because I don't really need any further descent instructions because we're on approach. There we go. Back on the glide slope. You can actually see the strip, just barely. This guy, whoever he was, broke off his final. You can see him. There he is, turning away. So maybe we'll luck out. God knows. Let's get our landing lights on. Look pretty good right now. It's lining up. Attempting to line up. Let's go ahead and do a notch of flaps.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, you're 11 miles east of Las Vegas. Contact Las Vegas Tower on 118.75 when inbound on the approach.
1875, so 3 Whiskey Eagle.
Tower
Whoa!
18.75
That guy just
Cessna 3
appeared.
Bravo Whiskey.
Oh, Jesus. Are we doing a parallel approach, or is he landing on our runway? I don't know, you can kind of see right here. Might be a parallel approach. That is, if that's true, that's awesome.
43 Bravo Whiskey, Las Vegas Tower. Cleared ILS runway 26 right approach. Altimeter 29.72, wind 208 at 25.
2972, 208 at 25. So the winds are correct.
Cleared ILS runway 26 right approach Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
That's great. Okay, so let's go outside. We got 7.8 miles left. Gear down. Oh, isn't that something? Isn't that something? Get ready. Here we come, Las Vegas. Another notch of flaps.
Las Vegas Tower Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey is going missed.
No, I'm not. Shit.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, contact approach on 120.
I'm doing no such thing. Well, as I expected, friends, ATC is being stupid. So we'll continue slowing. Why would I be going missed? Everything's going great. Let's do full flaps. That looks great. Wow. Going missed. We are lined up. Airspeed looks good. We're going to slow a little more. Showing 4.5 nautical miles out. Disconnect the auto throttle. Now the only question is,
2 mile final runway 26 right.
do we have any traffic conflicts landing without clearance? I don't know. We'll find out. Zoom in on the MFD, last thing here. That other plane was doing a parallel approach to 26 left, so he's, at least we're not going to crash into him. We're just going to land without landing clearance. All right. That's the way it goes. Oh my God, this goddamn mouse of mine, I swear to God.
500.
Autopilot.
Autopilot.
I have the airplane. Okay. Got looking for those. Look at those poppies. Those 4 red lights on the left side of the runway. Oh, they're all staying red. Why are they still all 4 red? It's weird. Our altitude's perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll take that. Whoa. All right. Okay, are we going to get reprimanded for landing without clearance? I imagine. All right, we got an exit right here on the right. Going to get a ground handoff or not? An instruction to contact ground? Something? Anything? Nothing. I think they're probably just busy sending the police to us. Well, let's see. Contact ground. Vegas ground. Taxi to parking, please. Saw a shadow fly
Las
by.
Vegas ground Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo. Whiskey
Spoilers in.
parking.
Or down.
Cessna November, Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey taxi to General
The
Aviation.
fuck is this guy doing?
Taxiway Alpha 5 Bravo
What
Bravo
the?
5 Charlie Golf Golf 2 Golf Sierra Cross
He's a helicopter. That's what he is.
runway 1 left Sierra Foxtrot.
I mean, seriously, it's probably a helicopter that the sim is rendering as a. Yeah, it's a helicopter that the sim is rendering as a.
General Aviation parking by a taxiway
As a
Alpha
little
5
plane.
Bravo Bravo 5
Looks like a
Charlie
Beechcraft.
Golf Golf 2 Golf Sierra Cross runway 19 left Sierra Cross
Oh,
runway 1 left
good
Sierra
grief,
Foxtrot,
this,
November Hotel Cessna Tree Bravo.
Taxi instructions, my God. Let's bring in those flaps. Nice. All right. And then we'll stop our timer. 43 minutes since we started our takeoff roll. All right. So yeah, this will be a long video. Landing lights are off, taxi lights on, pulse lights off. Okay, let's go, shall we? Welcome to Las Vegas. I think the local time in Vegas is 3:47. I can't remember if Vegas is ahead of us or is the same time as us. Does anybody know? Is Vegas? Actually, you know what? Maybe Vegas in daylight time is an hour ahead of us, now that I think of it. Anyway, it's afternoon in Vegas. And we've landed at McCarran. We're going to ramp 164. And other than that weird "we're going missed" announcement that the AI decided was appropriate and timely, everything went great. Local time Vegas, 3:47 p.m. So same as LA. Make that right turn. Big ass airport. There's the Strip. Yay! Sweet. Nice, huh? I don't know. What do you think about the high-end graphics versus ultra? I mean, you on a giant monitor like what I've got, 42-inch curved screen, I can see the degradation out here on the Strip. But maybe you know, it's not as obvious on a smaller screen. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what else I'm not noticing, and that's stuttering. And that's a big deal to me, because that's a big pain in the butt. I mean, in addition to being just sort of generally annoying, it can really be, I mean, it can impact your ability to even fly. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, if you're on short final and all of a sudden your screen locks up, but the sim keeps flying, well,
Approaching runway 01 right, 19 left.
call me crazy, but it's hard to fly if you can't
Entered runway 01
see
right, 19
any of your instruments or outside. That's kind of goofy. What's that going on there? All right, well, ramp 164 is coming right up. So thank you for joining us on this full flight video, Orange County to Vegas. I think that's probably one of my longest ones. I normally do smaller airports and shorter distances on full flight videos, but for whatever inexplicable reason,
Runway 01 left, 19 right.
I wanted to go to Vegas. Nobody's coming.
Entered runway 01 left, 19 right.
And there's our parking. They're waiting for us at the FBO, Fixed Base of Operations. Kind of curious that they took us in this way, but whatever they want, I'll do. MGM Grand, David Copperfield. I mean, the graphics are good enough to be able to make out writing on the hotel. Going a little too fast there, sorry. Take our left. Big old U-turn here. That's another factor, is that there's a lot of people that fly around Vegas. You know, simmers. It's a major sim attraction. I mean, you got people flying biplanes up and down the strip, you know, doing barrel rolls. And if you have live traffic enabled, then that's another factor that could impact your quality. Mandalay Bay, let's see that. But again, it's just not resolved as clearly as it is when you have it set at ultra.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, hold position, caution, other traffic.
I ain't holding shit.
Position Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
So it's all about trade-offs, you know what I mean? I would love to be able to keep it on ultra, but
Continue taxi.
if it stutters, it's not worth it.
Roger, Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
All right, here's our parking spot. Just gonna stay on this yellow line right in. Stay on this yellow line right here. At least that's the plan. All right, that'll do. That'll do. Pretty much nailed it. And we're straight on with him. All right. Oh, okay, enough chatter. Right engine. Lights. Pedostatics off. Outside air temperature is listed as 33 degrees Celsius. That is correct. Not 18 degrees Celsius, okay, dummy, on ATIS. 33 degrees Celsius. That sounds correct. It's about 94, 92, 93, 94 degrees, which is exactly what it should be. All right, well, listen, friends. This was fun. Always fun to do a full flight video. Even more fun to do one from John Wayne, Orange County to Vegas, where we are now. It's the Mandalay Bay. I'm staying at the Four Seasons, which is the top 5 floors of the Mandalay Bay. Luxor, New York, New York. MGM Grand. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's not as good as it looks when it's on Ultra, but I'm not going to complain. All right, let's kill that left engine, and we'll drop the logbook screen. There we go. 40 minutes, 36 seconds was the total time of flight from KSNA to KLAS. Day takeoff, day landing, and everything is beautiful. So, thanks for joining us. Welcome to Las Vegas. We'll see where we head next and when. But this was a nice, smooth flight. Other than that goofy announcement that we were going missed, which I don't know why that happened. Other than that, everything was spot on perfect. So, thanks for joining us. Have a good one.